Hey folks, those of you with an eye towards history would think that we're standing outside the gates of Graceland in Memphis, Tennessee. But we're actually in Los Fresnos, Texas, outside the gates of Little Graceland, a tribute house, an entire way of life based on the history of the King of Rock and Roll. Every weekend, every year on this weekend, near the date of Elvis' death, there's a festival held here, and impersonators come from all over the country to put on a show for the people that come to share in the life of Elvis Presley. We're going to have a good time. I usually weigh about 185 pounds, and I bulked up just so I could be like old, fat Elvis for this particular show. So stay tuned. We're going to have a good time. We'll introduce you to some folks, and it'll all be documentary. This is like pure, serious journalism. Thanks a lot. Have a great day. Hey, I have the King right there. King, you got a second? Come talk to us for a second. Got Elvis Presley here, ladies and gentlemen.
How are y'all doing? Hello, sir.
How are you, King?
I'm doing very fantastic. I'm very excited to be here. You know, it's a great pleasure. I'm coming down from Laredo, Texas, and I really enjoyed performing for all of you.
Well, I tell you what, I thought you did a wonderful job up there. You knocked out a little of the trilogy. You did some really, really good work. It was very fun to listen to your show. So you're from Laredo. What do you do when you're not Elvis?
Well, I actually practice some lyrics, I get online or I get my lyric book, and I start, going over some of a favorite of the King's music, because, that's my thing, I always, practice whenever I go on stage.
Well, I thought you were wonderful, and I really appreciate your time.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, man. Take care. There you go. There's one that I think this is going to be the best Elvis you're going to see. There he is, giving you a shout out. But, here we are. What would Elvis do? We're here. We're making it happen. So stay tuned and watch the rest. All right, go for it. What we have there is an Elvis impersonator's mother putting the finishing touches on the King-to-be. That's Chad Roy. He does a real good job. He's got a fleet of vehicles here. He's got the Elvis fleet. Elvis, of course, nowadays in modern times would have a Mercedes convertible. He would still have the pink Cadillac. And panning further to the right, you would see the Lamborghini and, of course, the GT Continental Bentley that Elvis no doubt would own. So we have Elvis in all his glory here with his fleet of vehicles, $5,000 suit. It's going to be great to see. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hey, guys, we're happy to be joined with our friend Renee Davis of Renee Sings Elvis. Renee's been doing this a long time, and I'm just going to let him tell me a little bit about, your background in this and how you got started and then why you do what you do.
Okay. Well, first of all, I was born on the same day as Elvis, January the 8th, a few years before Elvis was born, because he would be 76 years old this year, so I'm a lot younger than that. But anyway, sharing the same birthday, every time I had birthday parties, Elvis movies on TV, and it, sort of imprinted on my mind, and I started singing at church, and people started saying I was singing a lot like Elvis, so that's the way it started. A friend of mine at the barbecue warehouse in Westco gave me a little shot at entertainment, and it caught on, and here I am today, 15 years later.
And it's like everybody who has even the most remote tie, a birthday is really special, but anybody with any tie to Elvis, enjoys that. I mean, it's right. You've even got he's got the TCB glasses on, taking care of business in a flash, which was Elvis and the Memphis Mafia. That was their motto. Tell me about your, this is a beautiful eagle cape, and I've actually seen the original of this at Graceland. Yeah. Tell me about yours and how you did this.
This was commercially made by a company that helps out impersonators to get jumpsuits, and they also sell these capes, and so it's supposed to be a reproduction of Elvis's Aloha cape that he threw into the audience.
Yes.
And so it's very heavy. I don't know how he wore it for his shows, but when you put it on, it pulls your neck back. It's a lot of weight on your back. But it's a beautiful cape, a lot of jewels and a lot of gold. Of course, mine's not real gold.
Sure,
Elvis's was, but that's the Aloha Eagle.
Just awesome. Well, we look forward to your show. We'll take some video of it, and I appreciate your time, sir.
Thanks so much for talking to me.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Here we go.
Oh, see, Ryder. Oh, see what you have done. I said, see, Ryder. I said, see what you have done. Girl, you made me love you, and no, your man is gone. Hear what I say? Well, I'm going with baby, and I won't be back to fall. No, I'm going with baby, and I won't be back to fall. If I find you, girl, it off. Hear what I say, yeah, take it on. Well, I'm going away, baby, and I won't get back to farm. No, I'm going away, baby, and I won't get back to farm. If I find a new girl, I won't be back at all. And when I said, see, right? I said, see what you done. I said, see, rider. I said, see what you done. Girl, you made me love you, and no, you made us go. Hear what I said? See, rider. I said, see, rider. I said, see. I said, see, right. I said, see, right. I said, see.
This is his museum, his tribute to Elvis. And Mr. Vega was in the Army with Elvis in Germany. So he's got letters. He and Elvis sat together and wrote letters home. And the museum, we're going to give you kind of a flash of some of the things that are here. But we want you to come to Los Fresnos and tour the museum. And just tell us how the museum came to be and how you got started doing this.
We started back in the 80s. I started showing some of my memorabilia in the living room. But then people started, they found out that what I was doing, you know, and more people kept coming. So my wife said, "Hey, Simon, we don't have freedom here." So that's why.
Move it upstairs and open it up to the public.
Yes.
Now, what are the hours? When is the museum typically open?
The museum is open from 10 to 5 every day except Mondays.
And then is there a fee to get in, or is
It's a donation.
It's a donation.
Yes.
Well, good. So if you can't afford to pay, that's okay. Come see Elvis stuff. And if you can help out, and then that helps maintain the museum and keeps us in business. He's got a wonderful place. I see lots of things that look familiar to me from when I was much younger. And why don't you just kind of pan around anything you want us to see? You can point out some of your special things.
Okay, here's a magazine on Lisa Marie.
Yes, sir.
You know, she looks like Elvis.
Yeah, she does look a lot like Elvis. She actually does.
That's an old life, you know, Priscilla and Lisa Marie there.
Yep. I think I actually remember that. That is old.
Okay, I have some of my Army stuff. That cap, that's Elvis's cap. He had about 3, and I took one away from him one day.
There you go.
And I also took away one of his good conduct medals. There's his and mine.
That's all. He was a good soldier, wasn't he?
Yes, he was a good soldier.
Just another one of the guys over there, wasn't he?
That's all he wanted to be, a soldier, not an entertainer those 2 years.
That's what I've read, that all he cared about was just fitting in with the guys.
Right. And these are all replicas of some of his clothes. Okay, there's a song that I wrote for Elvis back in 1978. That's a record.
That's very cool.
A copyright.
Very good. Written as a tribute to Elvis.
Yeah. This is more Elvis memorabilia. Some belts that one of the impersonators gave me.
That's awesome.
Exactly the same as the ones Elvis.
Wow. Neat. Here's some Love Me Tender Elvis shampoo. Oh, man. Got to have the good hair. That's awesome.
A bunch of books. Okay, here's my treasure. Pictures of Elvis and me in Germany, 1959. Pictures of Elvis and my wife, Teresa.
At Fort Hood.
At Fort Hood. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. I remember the name Scotty Moore.
Okay, it was Elvis's first band, guitar player on the band.
That's awesome.
These are all pictures of Germany. There's a entrance to Ray Barracks where we were stationed in Freiburg, Germany. See, it says Ray Barracks up on top.
Yes, sir. That's awesome.
And this is the car that Elvis used to drive in Germany, back and forth.
Very neat.
Plate collection.
Just awesome.
This was the first one that came out, Elvis at the gates.
Very nice. I love your gates. We did a little intro at your gates out there. That's really nice. The proclamation says that the Senate of the State of Texas hereby commend Simon Vega for establishing his unique museum and extend best wishes to him and to all who attend the 71st birthday celebration for the King of Rock and Roll. And may it further be proclaimed that a copy of this is given as an esteemed expression of gratitude from the state of Texas. That's awesome. So other folks recognize what you did. That's great. And here's some actual pictures from an Elvis concert.
Okay, this is his last concert here.
Indianapolis, Indiana. You know, the older I get, the better he looks. He didn't look that bad.
Elvis did 64 albums, and I got them all.
Oh, that's fantastic. We have like 50-something gold records or something. The numbers are crazy.
Elvis shave also.
There you go.
After shave.
Elvis coins, Elvis shades. He's made more money dead than he ever made alive, hasn't he? The estate's done incredible.
That's a copy of his bride.
It's my honor to present a special entertainer. He's born in Fort, Texas, raised in Harlingen, graduated from Harlingen High School. He has a black belt in karate, the natural moves, looks, and voice of Elvis. He drives a 1954 pink Cadillac, like the first one Elvis had. He has a 2008 gold Lamborghini, which we think Elvis would have had. He's award winner of Best Lookalike and Performer from Las Vegas to Del Rio, Port Arthur, San Antonio, all over the Rio Grande Valley. He also has some in Memphis, Tennessee, semi-finalist with Elvis Enterprises, performed at Graceland, and now impersonating the King of Rock and Roll, all the way from Harlingen, Texas. Let's give it up for Chad Elvis Roy.
Thank you, Mama. My brother, open the book today. Thank you. when everything I do is wrong. You give me hope and consolation. You give me strength to carry on, and you're always here to lend my hand in everything I do. That's the wonder of you, and you, and you, and you. When you smile, the world is bright too. You touch my hand and I'm a king. Your walk is to be in with a fortune. Your love for me is everything. I guess I'll get for reason why I'm lucky as you do. That's the wonder. There you go, baby. The wonder of you, and you, and you play one single note. I guess I'll
I wrote the lyrics, the words, and I sent the material to Nashville in Tennessee, and they recorded it, and it's sung by Todd Andrews. Todd Andrews was a professional singer there at the studio in Nashville. They made 3,000 copies of the song, and I've sold them all except for 5, which I'm keeping for my own collection. What I did, I have it on CD. Okay, the CD has has an introduction, which runs about 2 minutes, and then the song will come out. So let's listen to the intro and then the song.
Simon Vega joined the Army on February 6, 1958. He reported to Fort Carson, Colorado to complete a 4-day induction into the military. From there, he was sent to Fort Hood, Texas, and took basic training for 4 weeks. During that same period of time, Elvis had arrived from his induction in Arkansas. It was at Fort Hood where Teresa Vega first met Elvis for a photo opportunity. Teresa recalls Elvis being nervous while he placed his arm around her for the picture. Elvis said gracias. Simon had seen Elvis around the barracks in Fort Hood, but it wasn't until they got shipped off to Germany where Simon finally met Elvis. In late August 1958, when they arrived in Friedberg, Germany, both men were assigned to Company D, 2nd Army Division. It was in the chow line that Simon approached Elvis and introduced himself. From that day on, both men became Army buddies. Both shared duties such as guard duty and other details. As far as their social experiences, Elvis just wanted to be treated as equal to his fellow soldiers. Later, Elvis became the Jeep driver for the company commander, while Simon was a marksman on the rifle team. They would frequently meet in the snack bar after duties were completed. Simon described Elvis as a humble, polite, and kind human being. One of the most memorable moments was when Simon asked Elvis what he thought about the Army, in which Elvis responded that he was proud to serve his country, but he'd rather be on the stage. Simon has been collecting Elvis memorabilia since 1977. Simon also wrote a song as a tribute to the King. It is entitled The Ballad of Elvis Presley. Enjoy the song.
I am going to sing a ballad, 'cause you were the greatest king. You gave us your love and music for all of us to play and sing. In the state of Mississippi, that's the place where you were born. Later on you moved to Graceland, where you sat upon your throne. Oh, hail to Elvis Presley, you were called the greatest king. You were called early to heaven, but your music we will sing. All your movies were fantastic, from Lovely Hammer to G.I. Blues. We all liked the way you dressed, from your hair down to your shoes. In the prime of your career, you were called by Uncle Sam. You served all the way to Germany, and you served well like a man. Oh, hail to Elvis Presley, you were called the greatest king. You were called early to heaven, but your music we will sing. All your music was tremendous, from Hound Dog to Way Down. There is no doubt about it, you're the greatest, and that's why you wore the crown. We will miss you in our lives. How could ever we forget? You were the greatest king that the world will ever get. Oh, hail to Elvis Presley, you were called the greatest king. You were called early to heaven, but your music we will sing.
I'm here next to a scale model, a scale replica of the birthplace of Elvis Presley. And, you know, while this is just a little frame house, it's just here to kind of give kids and kids at heart a chance to identify with the humble beginnings from which Elvis came. And what it shows me, as we've toured around and looked at this facility, is that Mr. and Mrs. Vega just have a real appreciation for Elvis and what he meant to America and to the world. And I've really gained an appreciation for his effort here today. And if you're ever in the Los Fresnos area, in the Rio Grande Valley in general, you should stop by on your way to South Padre Island and tour the grounds here. It's a wonderful thing. So I hope you've enjoyed our visit today to Little Graceland. Have a great week.